Mic check, 1, 2. I can't hear myself that well, though.
You can't?
I sound low in my ear.
Ashley always lowers it an ungodly amount. Doesn't make any sense. Look, there comes Andy. And then Ashley will tomorrow go beyond I do, be like, why is it so loud? What's going on? And I'm always like, what are you talking about?
Every rapper, turn me up.
Yeah.
Turn me up. I can't hear.
You got more juice for me on there, Andy? Or am I at max?
Now I feel good. And then when you hear yourself, you feel like you can contribute.
Was there juice in it?
There was a little bit more.
Turn it all the way up.
It's all the way up.
Oh, okay, perfect. It helps a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm hard of hearing. I feel like an old man. Hey, you kind of drank that right now like a toddler. Is that how you normally drink water?
No, see.
Because, listen, you put your whole mouth over the whole hole.
Am I supposed to?
Yeah, or else you backwash.
Yeah.
Dude, that's disgusting. You can never not backwash if you put your whole mouth on the bottle, like full lip coverage.
Right,
that was kind of crazy.
Hold on. I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna do it just
because I even saw your tongue like an anteater go into the water bottle.
I'm gonna do
That's
a
how
normal.
Thomas does
I'm gonna
it,
do
my
a
son.
normal. And I'm not
Okay,
gonna
just
think
a normal
about
drink.
It.
You ain't even gonna think
I'm
about
just
it.
Talking.
Just
my name's
yeah.
there,
Oh, I'm thirsty. Dang, bro. That's like what little kids do.
What do you want me to just risk? You want me to go like
risk?
You want me to do this?
Nancy, give me a water bottle. Give me a water bottle right now.
What do you want
I'm going
me
to
to
show
do?
you. Dude, I saw like half of the water go back into the bottle when you took a drink because your mouth is open. And but I even saw your tongue, like I saw your tongue in the clarity of the water bottle on the inside. I just had a whole conversation recently with Matthias because Thomas, who's 4, my son, drinks normal, puts his lips on. Thank you. Just puts one lip in there, a little bit of opening, drink water. Then I look over, I see Matthias, my 7-year-old, full mouth coverage.
So before you say
yes. H just walked in. Haron just walked in with the water. Haron, would you do us a favor? No pressure. No pressure, H. Hold on. Yeah, Andy's like, wait, I gotta fix this camera. No pressure. I know we got people that say, could you take a drink of your water for us? Just normal.
Yeah, just
take a drink.
Just take a drink?
Just take a drink. Grab your mic, but just take a drink of your water.
Just take a drink.
Just take a drink. There's nothing to it. Just take a drink. Like a real man.
That was the same thing.
No, it wasn't, dude. What are you talking about? Look, you have the adult version. The lip goes into the bottle. He put his whole mouth like a toddler, full mouth coverage. Look at him taking it.
Oh yeah, see, yeah. No. Pause. No.
What did you say? I'm sitting here. We're about to start the podcast. I look over it and I see his tongue inside of the bottle, finishing his drink. I say, "Hold on. Is this how you? I've known you for as long as I've known you."
This ain't a protein shake, man.
Wait, I think you're drinking like you.
You said what?
Nancy says she thinks. You're like in between.
Yeah.
That's like it's like a.
No, this is normal.
He's
Look.
full lips around. He's got it sealed.
No.
No risk.
No risk. The risk is half your food from the past 2 days is in your water bottle
so
right
you
now.
want me to just?
Is that what runners do or what?
Is it you want me to just press this against my mouth like?
No. What do you? No.
Wait, do it again.
No.
Do it.
You literally have never learned this.
Do a side-
You're 45 years old. What are you, 46, 47?
46.
You're 46 years old, and you're just discovering how to take a drink. I'd never want to see you take a drink of a Coke. If you got like a Mexican glass bottle Coke, you full lip coverage around the entire bottle?
The way I drink water is the way I drink a bottle. Yeah. Look.
This is absurd. I
Alizé shocked. What do you?
She said, hey, new people are coming in little by little. Just can't believe that you drink the same way.
I feel like you can do that when you're working out. Like you're just trying to just.
Yeah, you want to get as much as possible.
But like drinking
honestly, I don't know that I've seen an adult at your age drink water like that before yet.
Just try it.
No, you're doing it wrong. The lip goes in.
Yeah.
The bottom lip goes under.
Yep, just like that.
Adult. Now,
right,
no backwash goes into it. No, you're still doing it wrong.
I'm not going first base with my.
You've gone home run already. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you even saying right now?
We got to ask, who taught you how to drink like that?
This is normal. Look, I just grab it. Look.
But do it to the side. Do it to the side.
I've seen it in all angles.
Like this?
Yeah,
Like this?
Yep.
Look. This is normal.
That's
Yeah,
Do you see how much water goes back into the bottle?
That's insane.
Like the amount of water that goes back into the bottle.
Do a slow-mo.
I think I've asked for a drink from you before, but now I got to be very careful. Look, your water still has bubbles in it because that's half saliva. Look, I'll take a drink.
These are electrolytes.
No bubbles. No, I don't. No, the electrolytes they settle at some point.
Look. Normal.
Too funny.
Yeah, that's great. That's crazy. I just had a conversation a week ago with Matthias, trying to deliver him from something that he's probably seen you do. I said, son, don't do that because you can't share. You can't share something when someone drinks like that.
You know, I'm literally gonna pay attention to Faith and Trinity and how they drink their drinks. I'm gonna pay attention.
Disown them if they do it the same way. If they do it the same way, drop them off somewhere. Because you definitely can't lead them to the promised land. We couldn't even teach you right now.
Yeah, that felt super weird.
What are you processing right now? The fact that nobody drinks water the way that you drink it, or just from a bottle in general,
Bro.
If you grabbed a soda can, you would drink it the way we drink it. You don't put your whole mouth around a soda can.
But
so you're doing it's the same premise.
All right, hold
Smaller
on.
hole.
Lip inside. No, lip inside. Top of your lip. No, top of your
There you
lip.
go, just
There
like
you go.
that.
No, yeah, there you go. There you go. Now, there you go. Create an opening. Wow,
Is that-
look.
I gotta think
no,
about it.
no
I gotta-
backwash.
Yeah,
You got to think
Just
about
do
it.
you. Just do you.
Yeah, look.
You may be.
Yeah. This is.
Hey, so Matthias is a champion.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, my oldest.
Yeah.
Yes.
So talk to us about that.
2 times.
Man, 2-time champ.
Yeah.
2-time world champion.
That's how dads do
Exactly.
it. That's how dads.
2-time world champion. Well, I got 2 really good learning lessons. One was from Joseph, Pastor Joseph is on the squad. Been on one of the pods. But we were talking yesterday, and I'll start with Matthias, my oldest son, 7 years old. He back-to-back 2 years in a row championship soccer team here, and he plays in Eastvale. We live in Rancho, but my wife wants to drive down 30 minutes twice a week and Saturdays, and because it's a better league, and so. Him and his team, great team, great young boys, and they play really well this season. They started off terribly, definitely not as good as last season, but they just through the bracket towards the end for the championship. I mean, they held it down. Matthias finally, kind of tapped into some aggression this season, which has been something we've been talking about. Because Matthias is very sweet, and he's very soft and kind, and but sports it's not. So he's polite. He could have the ball, someone trip, he'll leave the ball to go check on.
Got it.
So them falling. It's like, hey, if the ref don't blow the whistle, bro, steamroll him, kill them. And so he got some of that this season, and he's a defensive player, so he's just great at it. So, yeah, man, they cleaned up at the end during the championship bracket. Obviously undefeated throughout the year, not so much. So they weren't even last year. They went into the championship. I think they were first or second place. Pivoted to win. I think they were in 5th or 6th place this time of the 14 teams or whatever to win. So they won last night. They won I think 5-0.
Come on.
So they handled it, and
5-0 is huge.
yeah, in
It's
soccer
not
that's a huge spread.
Football,
Yeah.
basketball,
Yeah.
high
And these
score
kids are
games,
7-8, and they're competitive, and so to get that much spread in the championship,
Yeah.
especially the whole year, we had got a lot of ties. We lost a few, so to go to play that many top bracketed teams and then them go undefeated and have that much spread at the end. I mean, they brought it. And Matthias' defense was on lock. Their strikers were on lock. So
what type of dad are you in those moments? Are you going crazy?
Oh, I'm loud. Yeah. So I got so the championship goes 3 days in a row. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Obviously, you can get knocked out. So Tuesday, day 2 of the championship. And here's the part that I'm not explaining as well is that Ashley's one of the coaches, my wife. So Ashley was a professional soccer player. Ashley's very competitive. I'm actually very competitive as well. And so she's coaching from her sidelines. I'm on mine. Obviously, where I'm at is with parents that are also on the opposing team. And so Ashley and her friend Jackie are the coaches. And in the entire league, there's not one female coach. And in their case, it's 2 female coaches. So these guys, normally the other coaches, they're like telling Ashley and Jackie to like shut up, and they try to like, flex on them, and they try to flex on the refs, to get their way. And like these girls don't know soccer. They don't know what they're not even knowing that Ashley's the only professional on the field, and Ashley also has a master's in coaching as well. So not only is she a played professional, she's an intellectual professional at coaching, So, and she played at D1 collegiate level, not played, but she did play, but she coached also D1 collegiate level as well. And so,
I didn't know that.
D1 or D2, Concordia.
Okay.
She coached at
okay,
Concordia.
okay.
I don't whatever division Concordia University is.
Okay.
Recruited for the Olympic development program, so Ashley knows soccer. So these guys would get aggressive. So day 2, it was really aggressive because the opposite team, they're punching, they're pushing, refs not calling any fouls. So now we're getting mad. The dads, there's really 2 dads that get mad. It's me and another guy named Adam. So we're like yelling at the refs. It's 2 Adams. We're yelling at the refs. We're also winning, by the way, but we're still mad that the ref is. We could be winning by more if the ref was playing fairly, right? So Ashley's on her side trying to get the ref, and then all these parents are like, ref, stop listening to those female coaches, blah, 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 blah. So now I'm getting upset. So I'm yelling. I look down, like 4 parents down, 2 beautiful couple with Patria hats, our church hats on the opposite team. I thought, oh man, do I throttle back right now? And I said, no, man, it's my son's game.
Yeah.
We gonna throttle up.
Yeah.
And thankfully, they were the only parents actually, because like we weren't saying anything about the opposing team. We're talking to we talk to the kids, me and Adam. So we know all the boys' names, and because they can't hear Ashley on our side of the field most of the time. So we coach essentially as parents on our side, but most of the other parents are normally silent, not out of respect. They're just more quiet, timid, whatever.
Yeah.
And so, but the Patria family, the dad, he's the only other one coaching his team. Everyone else is just complaining, So he's doing his thing. And so at the end, he came up to me and we talked, and I'm like, hey man, he introduced ourselves, we met, all that kind of stuff like that. But I got nervous at first. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
I think I'll be like, this is Pastor Adam, this is that, because we're like, oh come on, man. And then the last day, which was the championship, Matthias, he got pulled out the last quarter because you have to rotate the players, and I guess he didn't feel like he played his best, even though he played exceptional. Okay. He just didn't. Every once in a while, lately he has had 1 or 2 plays that are like you either saved the game in terms of defense, or you like were the star and you like juked someone out or something. Moments. A big moment. This game he had no big moment. He just was a consistent player. He played his role. No one on the entire sidelines was like, Matthias, you saved it. Da, da, da. So he gets pulled out the last quarter, which to him in his head was like, I'm going to turn it up. Well, he didn't do the math that every other player had gotten pulled out except for him. And so he gets pulled out and he just starts crying, and he's really upset and all that stuff like that. Yeah. And so then at the end, he didn't want to take a picture with the trophy. He didn't want to celebrate with anyone because he was mad at himself. He was kind of mad that he got pulled out. He don't really understand that emotionally, but he was mad that like he didn't have a moment. So he and I had had to have a talk like, hey, when you play team sports, sometimes you win as a player, and even your team can lose and you can win as a player, right? Like, you can lose 4-1, and guess what? That one was you. You know, like, Ashley used to tell me in soccer, she would like make a joke with her teammates because if they lost like 5-2 and she scored 2 of those 5 goals, she would be like, no, I won. You know, I won 2 goals. Like, y'all lost. You guys lost 3. 3-0, like, and so then I had to talk with Matthias and be like, hey, bro, sometimes you lose as a player, but you win as a team. And today you lost as a player, and that's okay. Like, you felt like you could do more, wanted to do more, had more, but the opportunity didn't present itself, but your team won. Yeah. And so pull yourself out of that. You need to pull yourself out of the mentality that you didn't feel like you played your best, but your team won. So go celebrate. And sometimes you win as a player, sometimes you win as a team. And on great occasions, you get a win as a player and a team, which has been many games lately for him. Yeah. But this one wasn't, and it was the championship, so he knew it was last. So he was, it was tough. So we had to have a talk, and we talked through it all night. I had to pull him on the sidelines. Told him that I would lock him in the room for his rest of his life if he didn't go take those pictures. He went and took the pictures. And then once he got out of his head after 10 minutes, he's out in the field playing soccer with all his teammates and stuff like that. So that was a learning moment for him. Something that he learned for the first time is like, hey, you're not always going to, play the way you want to play. But also, if you lost, that would have been fine. You could be mad at the way you played and mad that you lost. But in this case, you guys won the championship, but you felt like you personally lost. Yeah. So it was like, let's talk about that. And so we did, and then we went out to eat and we talked further about it and stuff like that. But then Joseph, who's on our squad here at Patria, his daughter won the championship, so they played right before us, at the time before us, not on the same field. And his daughter won, and she's 14, so they won the U14 championship. Oh, nice. But he was telling us something in the car the day before that they had gone undefeated by like 5-0, 4-0 all season. Like no one had ever scored on them like the whole season. And the day before the championship, the day they were playing to go into the championship, this team just put it on them. They ended up winning in penalty kicks, but they were like, this team was like holding them down. It was the first time they had been scored on as a team, first time they had had a lead on them as a team. And they said, he said like the girls were like crying on the sidelines, mad, frustrated, 14. So now much more of that emotion for a young girl. And he said, like, it was really good because it's the first time they had faced adversity as a team. And to be frank, they were kind of falling apart, for a minute. Yeah. And then, and so it showed like what happens when your talent only gets you so far. And then now actually something pushes up against you. So that was cool that when he said that, I'm like, man, that's really good that they experienced. But then they won in penalty kicks, so they still won. So now it's that, that whole mentality and stuff like that. So
sure.
So yeah.
For sure.
The moral of the story is though that we're going from driving to Eastvale that now Ashley is actually putting together a private club team apparently of all his friends that are all good players. That because now it's reached a point where like they won't let us build a team because we won 2 times back to back. So in the current league we're in, like they're gonna split all our players up. But they're all friends. They've all become friends. They've all played for like 3 years. Because you can like request players. If you're a coach, you can request like up to 2 players. And so if Ashley and Jackie coach, they each can request. So like, but they're not just picking best players. They're picking players that the boys have played with. Yeah. Matthias has been playing since he was 3, and he's 7 now. And so, like he has friends that they love to play together. They just all happen to be very good, and so it's at a point where they're just going to disseminate their team and they'll enjoy playing against each other. But so now I guess there's some like private club that they're going to build their team. But now we got to go down to South Corona, Eagle Glen, Pastos Lagos.
Further. That's further out.
Go even further. I thought it was like we were going back to Rancho to play or whatever, and now apparently we're going further down, and then Matthias is gonna whatever, I don't know, travel the world. I don't know what Ashley's vision is for this thing.
But kids playing sports growing up teach them a lot
For
about
sure.
like resilience. It's not always your turn. How do you respond when you strike out? Like, you know.
And that's my view of it. Like, I'm not like Ashley in the sense that's like, and she's really not bad at all, but she was when we were like getting married and when we only had one son, and he was it was like, oh, D1 college, blah, 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 whatever sport he plays, but it's going to be all that. I think now she like weans and like, oh, you know, as long as he enjoys it and, you know, and he's got a good community around it now. He got really good friends from soccer too. They like hang out. Many of the parents we've led to Christ, and they even go to our church now. Beautiful. And so there's a whole community that's developed, or even not, even if they don't go to church, like they listen to this podcast. So it's become a community. And so for me, my big thing is because people always ask me, like, Adam, how do you like, you know, do you like that? What's your goal for Matthias in sports or whatever, since you guys are so around? For me, it's character development. Yes. I wanted Matthias to feel that way yesterday. Yeah. You know, like.
That's how you find out what's in him.
Exactly. Yeah. And he cried and he was upset, and we had conversations, and he'll do better. And if he doesn't do better, I'll discipline it, you know, through it, you know, and all that kind of stuff like that, because that's going to develop character. It's going to develop integrity. You feel like crap, but your team's celebrating. Go celebrate with your team. Go tell the players that scored goals, great job. Yes. You know, like go, you know, well, no, I don't want to. I don't care. Yeah. You know, that you need to go do that right now. Yeah. Okay. Then he comes back and he's happy, you know, like, oh, I'm good. You know, like it's once you get out of yourself. So that's what I love sports for. You know, and then the Mesa family, in terms of the ones raised by my dad, we're independent players. So we play, you know, we ran cross country, track. When I was younger, I played team sports all the way up until junior high. And then once I got into high school, all individual, which would be cross country, track, all the stuff that I'm responsible for to win or lose, which that fits more for our family personality. Yeah. And that may become Matthias. Right now, it's the team part is important. But if he comes and I start noticing like that, the moment where he's upset that he didn't get to, you know, show his effort, if I see that that's a perpetual personality trait of his, maybe it doesn't need to be disciplined. Maybe it needs to be invested in. He wants to be responsible for his success. Yeah. He does not want to rely on a team. Yeah. That's a personality type. So it's like, oh, let's look at tennis. Let's look at golf. Yeah. Let's look at track. Let's look at the things that there may be a team element in it, but overall, like, you are fully responsible for winning and losing. And so then therefore you may like that more. Yeah. I like that more. Yeah. You know, I like knowing that if I lost, it's because I played like junk. And if I won, it's because I crushed it. Yeah. Whereas a team, you can crush it and still lose because your team is not playing good. And some people do not have the personality for that, you know?
That is Trinity. So Trinity's pretty locked in with like cheer, like, and you know, and like, so she gets on the team and she really wants to be the girl that is at the top, that jumps in the air, the flyer and everything like that. So I'm the most flexible on this. I'm going to be on the team and I'm going to be this role. Well, she doesn't get that role. And it crushes her. But it just shows what's in us. Yeah, for sure. This is around the time when we're having like a next-gen situation at the Pomona campus, and she was doing a devotional with me. She taught about that moment. Oh, yeah. Because she didn't want to be on the team no more. Because, like, that was my position. This is what I was going to do, and this and that, you know. And it's like, those are those great conversations because our kids aren't fully developed yet, but you start seeing those traits in them.
For sure.
So now, so she got over that. She ended up being the next season, like, the flyer, right? And then we went to one of those all-day competitions. Yeah. And, like, the team didn't do so well as far as, like, they didn't win anything. And so I was like, Trinity, how you feeling? She was like, I did good. My team sucks. You know, it's like, it's like, wait, like, whoa. Like, I did good. Yeah. She was like, I was here. My team was here. Yeah. So it's like, oh, we got to dial that back. You know? So while you like being more of an individual contributor, today you're on a team. So this is what a team player looks like in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting is in Matthias's case, so you have, my life, I operate in a high leadership capacity. Ashley has operated in a professional athlete. So relatively speaking, me and Ashley have the same mentality when it comes to life, drive, all that, which is a beautiful benefit. It's also a lot hindrance because her and I don't have a throttle. Her and I just both in all areas of life, just it's high capacity, everything, so, but in that case, it's like, we'll have parents Ashley will place their child as a goalie or a defensive player, even midfield. But every parent at this age, they want all their kids to be strikers. I want them to get goals. That's what makes us proud. That's what people celebrate about. That's what blah, blah, blah. So they'll give Ashley heck. Put my kid as a striker. And it's like, your son don't know how to kick a ball.
For sure.
Yeah.
They cannot get the ball from the area of the field into a goal where a goalie can't stop it. Every time your kid kicks the ball, the goalie can stop it. They're not kicking it hard enough. Your son plays great defense. He can stop the ball, or he's a good goalie. He's got good hands, but we don't like that. Then you take me and Ashley, high leadership, high drive, high competitive. And with Matthias, we're like, hey, son, you're not a good striker. You're going to be, we're going to work. You're going to be a great defensive player. And then at times you're going to get an opportunity to strike. And if you want to get better, you can practice, but you do not let that ball pass you. You are so good at that. Matthias, that ball will be up in the air and he'll just whip this kick and just get it out the way, And so it's like, or he knows where the ball is going. He can get to the ball before the other player and then he can pass it to his team. So you have two mentalities. You have the parent that's like, I want my kid to shine, and it's us. And even the parent is feeding into that. It'd be like you on Trinity's, well, I'm going to call the coach and I'm going to go off on them. Why not? It's because that's what they want. That's what I want. That's whatever. And then you have individuals, and not that we're perfect. We get upset about stuff, but in the sense of in this area, we understand that everyone has to play their part.
Yeah.
So with our son, I'm not going, yes, and you need to be the best. You need to be the captain of the team because you're our kid. It's the you're gonna play the role that you're assigned, and you're gonna play it the best you can. And if there is a role you want, then guess what? When the other kids are sleeping, you're gonna have to be practicing. So if you want us to coach you more, if you want to go in the backyard more, and you want to work on your kicks, by all means, you'll have an opportunity. But as it is now, there's 3 kids on your team that are better strikers than you.
Yeah.
So what you want to do about it? And then he's like, and thankfully he doesn't really complain about the role that he plays. He likes it, and obviously he wants to score goals because that is what celebrates. But we don't coddle that. It's you want it, dude. Go work on it. You got to not only do you got to outshine the other team, you got to outshine the other players. If there's a role you want. You want to be a point guard? Well, guess what? It's and then there's some things you can't be a center. You're not you're not 6'5". So you're probably never going to be a center. So there's that. So there's those elements as well, which I loved having those conversations with my son, because those are really the same conversations my dad had with me, which was, you want it, work for it.
Right.
I'm not going to kick the door open for you, but also I'll be with you. However investment you want to get better, I'm with you on that.
And it's best that our kids have those conversations with parental figures that love them as they develop, because those conversations are going to happen in the adult life with job interviews, with job restructuring, with just different situations that happen in life. If you want it, go for it. But you're going to do things in team. You're going to do things in situations that are different seasons. So it's having the healthy perspective of getting the best out of our kids prepares them for adulthood.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. And I think one element too, you kind of tapped on it, is, are they coachable?
Yeah.
Because when you move from elementary to middle school, there's tiers of levels of what people look for. If I'm a scout, you have all the skills, but you're not coachable. Yeah, I'm not going to pick you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick someone
bad attitude,
body posture. Is he received correction well, and stuff like that. Because I think as you grow in your sport, I think that element of teaching them, hey, this is your coach. Your coach knows what's best for you. They see your weakness. They see what you do in practice. So Are you able to listen well? Are you take correction well? So I think being coachable is another trait that we can teach kids to learn and grow in, because that's the next level. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for the best. They are looking for the best players, because I think about, like, how did Bronny Jr. make it on the Lakers team? He's the sorriest basketball player. Like, he didn't go through the NBA D League. I'm like, it's because his dad, right? Coached him through it, but he's coachable. Like, we want you to just play defense. We don't want you to grab rebounds. We don't want you to score points. Just play defense.
He has to be coachable, and he has to kill the noise of the crowd. You know how hard it is to have like you're talking about the parental pressure. Like, your dad is LeBron. You play on the same team, and now you have all these expectations that the coach hasn't put on you, but the crowd put on you. So, like, when you've coached kids, like, how would you identify, like, what's coachable? Like, what are those traits of, like, this kid is coachable versus this kid is not coachable?
Yeah, attitude, body posture. Do they come to practice on time? Are they communicating the plays? Are they running the plays well?
All things that make someone great in the workforce,
For sure, yeah. In the huddles, are they attentive? Are just, whatever.
Yeah.
So those are all the things you can look for.
Yeah. What happens when you lose? What's their posture like? All that stuff like that. Do they encourage the rest of the team, or do they make it about themselves and just storm off? And or do they hit every hey, good job, y'all, good job. We gave our best. We gave our like, that's the stuff that's like, because there's guys who are like best players on the team, or even you just put it into workforce, like best people in the workforce. But it's like, dude, when you lose, you suffocate the room, and then when you win, you take all the glory. So it's like nobody wants you on the team. Because this ain't even, you don't even view this as a team effort. You view us as warm bodies to your success or defeat, like that. And there's that, because I've seen that plenty of times as well. People just suck, the energy up from the room. Or in Matthias' case, that happened at a young age. But as you get older, if that's perpetual, it's like the team wins, but he didn't get she didn't get the time they wanted, or the role they wanted, or whatever. So now everybody's celebrating a win, and you're in high school, and it's like this guy's pouting, and it's like, you guys just won. What are you talking? Well, because
playing time.
My dad's gonna be mad I didn't score, and it's like, oh, come on, dude. So there's that, and then that happens in the workforce too. It's like, what do you mean? Hey, as a team, we won. Yeah, but they didn't pick my idea, or my presentation wasn't seen, or this or that. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? We're winning right now. Come on, like, what do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing a 3-point shootout contest with my little brother. He played professional basketball for 10 years, and I learned a lot in that day, because we shot 10 3-pointers. I went first. I made 6 3-pointers. So I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So we had these cones. You come around, you shoot. You come around and shoot. He's making every single one of them. But every time he's making them, he got frustrated. He's like, dang it. Make it go around. Dang it. Go. And I stopped him. I'm like, what is going on? Like, you've made every single shot. He said, I'm not focusing on if I'm making the shot. I'm focusing on my footwork, and my footwork is off. By the time I'm in the game, I'm going to be tired. The crowd's going to be yelling. I need to have muscle memory, and my footing is off. You're only focused on if you're going to make the shot.
Yeah.
I got to focus on other things.
Yeah.
That's the difference between a professional
and
somebody that plays street ball.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
So it's just different levels to, like, somebody that's coachable will focus on their footwork as well, like the fundamentals of things in preparation to the game. I'll never forget that, because I'm like, I'm about to beat you, and he's thinking about something completely different.
Exactly. Yeah, he's focused on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, can you hear me?
Nancy's in here. No, not yet. Is you muted?
Huh, no. Is it this one? No.
What?
Oh,
That's
man.
weird.
Okay, well, can you hear
We
me?
got to test them. I can hear you. I'll repeat here. Nancy was going to jump in. The mic's not
What
working.
do you think when it comes to, like, if your kids became so good and they're like, I want to skip college and I want to go pro, would you advise, like, you know what, let's do it? Or would you like,
if our kids want to skip college and go pro.
yeah.
I mean, my view of it would be it would be totally contingent on the situation for me. It would be, what does that look like? What's the like what's the possibility of you even going pro? What does that mean? Like, are you going pro as like, you know, the number 1 or 2 in the nation? Or are you going pro like, you know, you just want to be a professional, and we don't even know if you're going to make it to a 2nd or 3rd season, you know, like, I think that stuff depends, because then it's like, and then again, at the same time, it's like, yeah, give it a try. You can go to college after, if you're good with not playing in college, because you can always, like, you can get a degree at any point. So to me, it wouldn't be like, well, get a degree, you need something to fall back on. I'm like, you know, if you go pro at 18 and you're 21, not pro anymore, you can still go to college. Most people are graduating bachelors now in their 30s, you know, so like that to me wouldn't be a big deal. It's just, you do know you're going to give up that college experience, that in that case, it would be a D1 experience. You want to give up a D1 experience. If that's not the case, like, I know Ashley would probably really lean towards, like, go have the college experience, like, play for a D1 school, you know, like, if you're that good, college or pro will be on the other side of that.
Yeah, I would say
type of thing.
The first thing that came to my mind is faith or Trinity.
It's
like two different conversations. I think what college experience gives life experience. So you
exactly,
move
that part's
out
important.
And, so there's people that are highly gifted, highly talented at the highest levels, have no life skills.
Yes.
So we see that in the workforce as well. You got this job because of your gift and your talent, but then it was the poor life choices that didn't have you keep it. So it's like somebody that can go pro, who's still helping them manage their life. So like Jason Tatum for the Celtics still has his mom manage his finances. He makes all of his NBA money goes to savings accounts, and he only lives off of endorsements. I mean, the incredible wisdom in that, but it started from like when he started. So like him having somebody that can help him with those skills, I would say would be a benefit.
Yeah, it's tough because, you know, Ashley, my wife, played the D1 experience, and it's a different world. So D1, different world. Like, you have tutors, you have people that take tests for you, you have full-time massage therapists, you have full-time. It's just like professional sports in that sense. So you live in a bubble of fame, notoriety. Everyone knows who you are at school. Everyone's bidding for your attention. Everybody wants to hang out with you. Nowadays, there's, you know, a law that passed where, like, you know, you can be richer doing D1 sports than you could even be a pro athlete. Yeah, you know,
sure.
so you know, you can make more money D1 for a long time before you even, you know, climb up in a pro league. So the normal college kid experience, like, you're not getting. You're getting a professional athlete experience at the same time. So it's not even, you know, when Ashley would tell me what college was like for her, I'm like, there's no sane person that's experiencing that same thing. No, Ashley got recruited at 17. She went to college at 17, and she had a full-time massage therapist. You know, she had someone that went and took notes for her in class. Mm-hmm. She didn't even have to go to class all the time.
My brother had that.
You know, like, someone go, and then they go sit and do the notes whenever she wants to and is available. She would have someone take the test with her. You know, like, so. She lived in a different world, you know, physical therapist, all that stuff like that. She was employed to play sports and happened to get a college degree for it. So she picked a degree at one point, and they were like, no, you can't do that. And she's like, why? They're like, it'll be too hard for your sport. Pick an easier major. Like, they didn't even let her pick her major she wanted, you know, like, so it's like, it's a totally different world that if my sons were in that world, pro or college, it's like, the life experience is going to be the same. They're going to be famous regardless if they were that good, you know, like they would be in their own bubble, regardless in that sense. So, and he, like, the thing is like, so, and it's a true story, for about 4 or 5 years. And I used to bring Haron along with me at times. I was a chaplain for like, it was like an athletic institution that worked with players between college and getting drafted. Football players. And so when they graduate college, they have the entire summer into the draft where they have to stay fresh. And then a lot of them go to the famous combine where they show their skills off to prove that they're worthy to be drafted. And so I was at one of best institutions that got players ready for the combine and the draft. And so they asked me to be the chaplain for those guys because they're coming from all over the United States, and they would be at this center and they would train Monday through Friday to get ready for draft. And a lot of the guys, the season that I came in, right before I came in, a famous player named Juju had just finished that program. And so a lot of really well-known pros, they're still pros today, went through that program. And I pastored them all summer, every Friday, leading up till their draft. And I used to bring H with me. And if it was a Friday I couldn't make, H would fill in with me and stuff like that. But what was interesting is these were like 21-year-old guys. They're about to get drafted, most of them in first pick, if not first pick, but first phase of the draft, if not second phase. So what people don't know, what happens is all these guys have agents, and their agents fork over their bill until they get signed. So these guys can collect as much debt as they want with their agent, and as long as they pay it off when they become a pro. And so you have these 21-year-olds, and they're pulling up in leased G-Wagons, Lamborghinis, all that. They're 21 years old, not a dollar to their name yet, but their agent is paying for it. They go to a nightclub, their agent would show up to pay the bill at the nightclub. And so, you know, they're just living a totally different world. So there would be days I'd come in to do chapel, and the guy over the institution will pull me aside and say, so here's what happened last night. This player wrecked the Lamborghini, and he didn't go home at all because they make him stay with certain people and stuff so they could keep him, like, not accountable, but so they take the sport serious, right? So they're living with other players, and they're all in like apartment high rises, and they're in Newport or whatever, and their agent's forking over the whole bill. And I'd come and he'd say, hey, so this player got drunk last night, wrecked a Lamborghini. This player just got word that he got a girl pregnant this summer. Jeez. This player got, I mean, they're just living a totally different. So he'd be like, so when you go into chapel, like, here's what's going on. If you could, like, tap their butt for me, you know, and I'd go in it, right, H? And we'd go in there, and we would wreak havoc on them, you know, like, and just, we were their parents in a lot of ways. Not all the players. Many players had good heads on their shoulders, came in right, but there were others that were like, and their answer was always, you know, hey, what's your goals? I just want to take care of my mom. A lot of, if they were African American players, a lot of them single mother homes. So a lot of their goals were like, hey, I'm doing this because I want to take care of mom. And so, you know, and so it was, man, it was a very interesting season of our life doing those and working with players not that already had fame, not that they already have fame, a lot of money. It was being borrowed, like it was being lended.
Yeah, it's not
you know. And so they were like in this weird state, and so we'd pastor them through all types of scenarios that just for the average 21-year-old is not walking through. On top of that, a lot of current pro players would go and train with them because they needed somewhere to train in the off season. So you would have active pro players, all of their G-Wagons, all of their Lambos, with 21-year-olds who have 27-year-olds who are making 20 million, 50 million, whatever it is. And then that 21-year-old is like trying to keep up with the Jones of that 27-year-old. And this 27-year-old is working out in a gold Cuban link that's worth $400,000, and he's just wearing that. That's his workout chain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so more than anything, you talk about Matthias and pro, like far less about like the decision of career. It's what type of person are you going to become with these decisions? Sure. Because I have lived it. Your mother has been there, but also I have pastored I've pastored a lot of professional athletes. I just don't always publicize it. That it's like more than anything, it's like I want to talk about the man that I got two boys. So for me, it would be the men that you're going to become regardless, you know?
Yeah.
What do you, another question. So like, what do you think needs to change within the sports industry, whether it's from young age to pro, that will help them? Because you hear a lot of people get rich and they lose all the money.
Yeah.
So like,
what needs to change in pro athletics to help?
Like classes they need to take?
Well, they do. It's mandated. I definitely know for the NFL. I don't know NBA or what, but financial education now is, from what I'm aware of, is mandated for players going from when they get drafted, they get assigned a financial planner now. I don't think historically that's been the case. And so I think the NFL and NBA and other places have tried to help young people with their finances and to make better decisions. But at the end of the day, man, that's kind of them to do. I don't even think the NFL and all them need it. Like, they don't even have it. It's not, to me, it's not required, because you are responsible for your own self. You know, like, a YouTuber go start a YouTube at 16 and become worth 10 million by the time he's 21. Like, no one's telling him, oh, I'm going to come be I'm going to help you with, like, he has to, or she has to decide that on their own, you know, like, do I want to do this? And so, they can force financial education on these players all day long, but they have to want it, you know?
Yeah. They did a study on the NBA players, kids or students who went to college for 4 years were more successful than players that jumped to the NBA right away out of high school or 1 year in college. So, you know, 4 years of being in college, you learn life skills, you learn how to talk, you learn how to budget more, you know, you have more. I feel like you learn to grow in those 4 years versus like a person who just jumps right into the NBA. So,
it's adulthood with training wheels, you know, in a lot of ways. There's
so many like guys that like don't play like D1 or D2, but they go overseas. So they get a scholarship, but they don't get a degree. But they live their dream because they're playing overseas and they're having fun and everything like that. Then they either get injured or they get older, and then when they come back,
now what?
Life is normal. They don't have a degree, right? Like, so that's the part that's tough about sports, where it's like, man, I'm shooting after this dream that like less than a half of a percent make. So if you look at everybody that's playing basketball, less than 0.05% make it to the NBA. That's the stat.
Right.
But that's what people chase. So then if I can't make it to the NBA, I'm playing overseas. But if I'm but there's nobody helping with like what happens after that.
Yeah,
a life
for sure.
plan, et cetera,
yeah,
et cetera.
Absolutely.
So that's what's tough.
Yeah. I got more professional athlete stories. You want to hear a couple that I get work with pro players? I think people might be interested in it now that we're talking about it.
For sure.
So I was pastoring this pro athlete one time many years ago. Every time, and H has been there, every time I'm invited to do a chapel or anything with any professional athletes, I tell this story because I just think it's a good character story, but it's a true story. I was working with this professional athlete, and he was at one point projected to be like a draft pick, but he didn't become one. And he got traded around a couple times. By the time he got traded around a couple times, he was like a third string practice squad running back. And so you have obviously the first string, the star, and running backs are normally really famous on the team. Those are normally one of the celebrities next to like the quarterback and stuff like that. And so then you have the practice squad guy, the guy who mainly practices with the running back and is the backup, which if you're in the second string, you tend to get a good amount of playing time from time to time, because the running back, if it's not an important game and they're projected to win, they're going to put the second string in, and so he can rest and all that kind of stuff like that. So this guy was third string. So maybe in a given season he would get one game, couple minutes, if that. And so what happened is let me remember the story real quick. Yeah. So what happens is no, I'm sorry. He was second string. Okay. He was second string. That's what it is. He was second string, but you have third string. So he got a good amount of, not a good amount, but a fair amount of playing time. And so he was second string, because this was like 10 years ago or something like that. But I still tell it regularly. So he was second string, and because he was famous in school, he went to a very big D1 school. He was even still pretty well known on social media at the time. So he had like an arrogance to him. He was like a hot shot, even though he wasn't the main player. But all the main players, even on other teams, were his friends, because in college he was a star. He was one of the best in America. So like his friends weren't, because normally if you're second, third string, like you may be D2 or something like that or whatever, or not from a big D1 school, but he came from a big 1D school, just kind of what happened. That's what happened. And so what happens is he's hanging out, because normally like the second string guys and all that, they don't hang out with the first string. When they go out to the clubs or whatever, like they don't always get invited to that stuff. But he would, because he was as well known, right? So he was basically doing first string activities without first string respect. So he would show up late to watch film. He would show up unprepared for practice at times. But when you're one of the stars, the coaches kind of overlook that stuff. Maybe sometimes they'll come late to practice. Maybe sometimes they won't always be at watching film. But the coaches, they're like, he's doing his role. He's first string. They exercise a lot of grace at times, not always, for those guys. So he was doing that as the practice squad. So one day the coaches get fed up. They pull him in and they say, hey, you're not taking this serious. He's like, yes, I am. You show up. You showed up late to film. You showed up late to He said, well, all the other players did. He said, hey, those are the first string guys. You're not a first string guy. You're a second string guy. So what they do is they cut him from the team. He's done. He's off the team. They let him go that day. And what happens is in the next 2 weeks, the running back gets injured for this team.
First string gets injured.
There was no second string anymore. So the third string guy gets called up to be first string. That season, that team wins the Super Bowl.
What?
That third string guy gets invited to stay first string because he was part of the Super Bowl team and he played his role. And this guy could not get recruited by another team after that. Wow. And I pastored him through that whole college, post-college, pros, and everything. And I would tell him, take it more serious. He was also doing dumb stuff with girls. He just did not take it serious. He didn't take his opportunity serious. He didn't take even second string serious. And he literally got passed up, not only to just play first string, but to play first string in a Super Bowl winning season. Yeah. No ring, no nothing.
Oh, my God.
And then did not play anymore for the rest of his life. You know? And so every time I go talk to a football team, that is some type of story that I'll tell you either first time or second time. And I'll just talk, because when you do a chapel, you have everybody. So practice teams in there, first strings in there, third string, coaches are in there. And the lesson I always tell them is whatever opportunity you've been given, give God 100% of it. There may be days you feel like you're winning. There may be days you feel like losing, but you are one decision away from walking into everything that you've prayed for. And this young man, if he just watched the films, came to practice on time, he could have won the Super Bowl.
Those are basic duties.
Just show up. Not coachable.
Just walk in the door.
It's heartbreaking, dude. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I just.
Dang.
Yeah. Dude, I got other stories like that. Not as big as that one, but yeah, those are.
But you sparked a thought because I think the culture for America is shifting within sports. And if you notice, I'm going back to the NBA because NBA is what I watch and a lot of players that are coming into the NBA are not from America.
Yeah.
And
so they're saying the best players are not from America in the NBA.
You look at Luka, you look at Giannis, you look at Shai.
Yeah.
So that has another component too. It's like your upbringing, your culture, the society that trains you and builds you up.
And to say in that same regard, it's to your same point, H. It's what's talked about in our church space with our faith right now too. It's this idea that because American individualism has crept into everybody, that the best missionaries, soon to be the best pastors in churches that are discipling people are the best. Are not America for so long was the prototype. If you were a church and you wanted to pastor people well, you looked at the American church. You wanted to see how they cared for people. You look at the American church. You want to see how people followed Jesus. Look at the American church. But now it's starting. There's a lot of conversations about what's happening in Korea, Brazil, parts of Africa, because what's happening is this individual identity that you're saying has bled into sports. It's bled into every aspect of our life, even our faith. And, you think of so many people just in churches nowadays that have this idea of individualism, that like the church has to do everything exactly the way that I expect it to do, in the exact framework that I expect it to do. Every pastor needs to believe everything that I believe to every T, even my personal life stuff. They have to vote my same way, talk my same way, view things my same way in every regard. Where back in the day, it's like, hey, we could disagree with each other and still be friends. I could disagree with a few things at my church that isn't, big doctrinal things, and still fellowship here. That's what's the big deal? But it's become that. And also pastors and pastoral leaders have kind of even forsaken, because they've become individualistic, partnering with other churches, partnering with organizations in the community to care for people. It's all centralized in their own world, and who cares? In their sense, in their eyes, like, oh, if it's not us, there's no one else exists. So it's bled in all these areas, like professional sports, that these other countries that believe more of this idea of like for the team, more communal, more, hey, I'm okay with playing behind the scenes as long as, we win. I'm okay with doing my part as long as you do your part. That type of mentality, the family mentality, all that. It's like we in like every area, we've forsaken that. And even in faith, which is causing a big issue in the church, because that's talked about a lot in church right now. This, not just the individualism of people, but I would also go further, which is true, is the pastors have adopted that custom. And they've become, to a degree, an individual nuisance of just going, I don't want to work at that organization or church because we don't become the winner in it. Our church name doesn't get a banner over it, and we don't want to work behind the scenes. We want to be up front. And we in America, we've taken that, and our colleges teach it, and all that stuff like that. Even to your point, like the college sports teaches that now too, which is like, it's a good and a bad that in college a player can make a lot of money, but also then they become on all the billboards around campus and all that stuff like that. And then they look at themselves and they're like, I'm not on a team. This is me. I make more money than all the players on my team. What are they? And then that becomes an issue. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Yeah. Nancy, we gotta get her mic working over there, man.
I know. So say like Himani, Faith, Matthias, one of them, like literally just put yourself in.
Nancy's asking questions about each of our kids right now. Yeah.
Okay. Say like tomorrow they're at an age where maybe she gets pro at tennis and she starts winning these endorsements. How do you think you'll manage the finances? Or do you think like you'll ask for a cut being their parents? Or like
yeah, there's a dad tax.
Well, she's talking about so Nancy's talking about say your daughters and all that kind of stuff like that,
college,
or they go college, pro or whatever. Yeah, I mean by that time they're adults, so they'll have to manage their money themselves. So my view would like say my boys, they go to college, go pro, they make a lot of money. They could decide to do what they want. I'm going to advise them as a father, but I don't need me and Ashley don't need a payback and cut back of whatever sacrifice we made to get them there. I think that's just the cost of being a parent, is the amount of sacrifice and investment that you have, and them succeeding is my legacy, like that. And more than anything for me, I mean, on a faith level, like, my boys' relationships in Jesus is going to be my greatest legacy. But you take them also thriving in the land that God has given us. Yeah, I want my boys to thrive. And so my legacy is how they thrive. Getting a return on investment, so to say, is not really the way that I view it. My goal for them as a father would be to make sure that they keep their relationship with God through whatever success they get, and that they are people of character and integrity, that they don't succeed on the graveyard of other people. Like, yeah, son, I'm proud of you, but you left a trail of dead bodies. I'm not proud of you. I'm not proud of that. You became a billionaire, but you started OnlyFans. Like, no, I'm not proud of that. I'm sorry. It's like, it's that level of things, I'm
100% on the same page with Adam at that. When my kids are adults, I took your question as if that happened now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That my kids are not ready. They have no.
But in sports at 13, 14, 15, you can't make a lot of money.
Can you? Well, I mean,
no.
Sponsorships with Nike. If you like.
You can't. No. Someone would have to correct me. I don't think there's anyone that's a millionaire at this age at 14, 15, 16.
It's not money, right?
Yeah,
it might have changed. I think they get all the free gear is just money.
But that's not a lot.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. That's free gear and all that. Let's just say you're sponsored by Nike at 16. Maybe tennis. Like what's her name? The Japanese half black. I think she was pro at like 16.
Asanaka,
she might be a millionaire at her age. And so, you're soccer, football, all that. I don't think you could be that well. You can. You could be in the World Cup by 16, I think. But you're talking about a percent of a percent opportunity.
Rare, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even be able to hypothesize on that. On average, American sports, football, basketball, all that stuff like that, no teenager is becoming a millionaire. If they were, it would be through their social media influence of the sport that they play, which, I'm managing that for my sons. They're not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch it for me personally, but I would never touch my son's money for me personally. But I would, you'll get an allowance for what you're doing.
Yes.
We're going to start a thing for you. And we're going to start a thing for you so that when you become an adult, you can decide what you want to do with it.
Adult, that's 21.
Adult's 18, so 18 in theory. Okay. Now I'm still dad, so he can have it at 18, but I'm be like, let's just say he, 16, which they do exist. There's kids in the athletic field that have big social media presences and streaming and all that. I'd say, hey, you have access to it at 18, but here's my recommendation. It's a trust. You don't touch it. Mm-hmm. You invest it. Don't touch this. Live off of what you need a month.
Yeah.
Big purchase. Hey, let me advise you. But you do whatever you want. You want to spend it in one day, go spend it in one day. You wouldn't be stupid. What was it? Shaq that said his first paycheck, he went and he spent it in, I think, 24 hours. His first NBA paycheck. Yeah. It was like he literally went and just bought 2 cars or something and bought his mom a house or something. He's like, in 24 hours, his first check was gone.
Well, you heard what happened with Allen Iverson, where he was running out of money, but his manager has set it up that when he reached a certain age later in life, he would get cashed out from Reebok.
Oh.
So he got saved.
Delayed gratification. Wow.
Yes.
He forced it.
That's crazy.
Yes. Yeah. And
that's what's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. How we got on the sports thing was just you asking. I was about to be like, how did we get on athletics? And I'm wearing my Gators jersey, which is another element. I went to my first D1 college football game 2 weeks ago.
How it was for you.
It was overwhelming. I don't do well in crowds, believe it or not. And I don't do well around strangers, believe it or not. And so it was a mix of everything that I don't do well most, which is loud noises, strangers, and crowds, and long periods of anything. So I have ADHD, so my attention span is less than however many minutes. So then I'm there for 4 hours. And so, it was a lot, but it was really fun. I've never been to a D1 football game in my life. I've never been to a D1, I don't think any sporting event in my life. But on top of that, it was an SEC game. And so Southeastern Conference games, those are the biggest in terms of fans and all that. So it was a Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium, Florida Gators versus Georgia Bulldogs, which is known as one of the probably top 3 or 4 team rivalries in college football. And so it's big, it's massive, whatever, 70,000 fans, half Gator, half Bulldogs. Ashley was a Gator. And so, there was probably 100,000 people tailgating, even people not going to the game, thousands of people that are just sorority and fraternity players. Battle of the bands, Georgia battles Gator band, then the color guard battles each other, and then during the game they battle, and then at halftime there's a show of the bands, and then and then you have the game itself, and then we're sitting with near Bulldog fans, we're Gator fans, and everybody's talking mess to each other, but for fun. Like I go to professional games, like if you start talking mess to the other team, it's because you genuinely hate those people and like you want to fight.
Yeah.
Over there, they do it for like fun. So what happened was like Gators scored, which they weren't projected to score on them. So these Bulldog fans behind us were like, "Hey y'all, we got you guys. What can we get you to drink? And we're gonna get you guys some nachos." That was a terrible loss. And I'm like, we're at an arena, so I'm like, that's like a $60 meal right there. And they came back and they gave us soda, nachos, like, because we scored on them. And then I looked at Ashley, I'm like, do we got to do this? Because they're going to score a lot on us, like, Gators aren't projected to win. And she was like, no, it's just, whatever you want. But it's like, so it was like, it was something so it was fun because it's new. I like new stuff. So my eyes were like looking at everything in terms of the game. Very different than a professional game. These are people that are either lived locally, alma mater. So they like really bleed that school. It's either the city they grew up in or the school they actually went to. And then for Ashley, she's like becomes like a little celebrity because you're rare that you'd meet someone that played for that school because it's such a high caliber. So she's walking around, like with certain things that show that she was alumni and stuff. And so she's getting stopped and talked to. And what year did you go to? And, you played, the soccer team. That was their best years. What's that like? So she's talking to, everybody's talking to her. And I'm just sitting there in, my Gator gear, just like, yeah, and then they're like, where did you go? And I'm like, oh, like a 500 person private Bible school, And they're like, oh, okay, like all weirded out. And then they're like, oh, you go to much with her? And I'm like, no, it's the first time since she was in college that we went back. Which we could, when we were younger, we just couldn't. When we first met, there's just no way her and I would have been able to afford to fly to Florida, go to a game, all that. It's not that we didn't want to; we just could not afford it. And then you start having kids and all that, and that whole season is just a wash, right?
Yeah. Infants,
toddlers, all that. So it's like we're at and then everything I do is for work. So all the other stuff is work stuff. So this was like, okay. 10-year wedding anniversary. That was her present. Take her to a Florida Georgia game,
nice.
Which is what she's been asking for a while, and it was fun. I would do it again, but it was it's definitely different for me. It's unique. Like it's not something I'm used to at all in terms of it's just not the same as a pro game at all. It's totally different. Yeah. And the players are like everybody's hungry. They're hungry to win. You go to a pro game, you're like, oh, these are entertainers more than anything. Yeah. That's kind of why I don't always love professional games because I'm like, you just like, the times I'd go watch LeBron, I'd be like, has he broke a sweat? I'm like, it's the most boring game I've ever like. And then towards the end, I start playing. It's like, but the college games, they're like, this is win or lose. This is whether I get drafted or not. This is, so it's that kind of stuff you can feel is regularly on the line, And
you can feel the energy at a college game more than an NBA game, unless it's like playoffs.
For sure.
Yeah.
Then playoffs, now everyone's there and tension's there and all that. Yeah. And then this is a rivalry game. So now there's like deep, fun hatred. It's not like a real hatred. It's like a fun animosity. So then there's that. It's like, it's like a big, it's called the rivalry game. Like it's, like it's a thing. So it was cool. It's unique to see, But yeah, it was fun. Probably got some sermon illustrations somewhere from it. I don't know yet, but
you've already used some from the Peanuts.
Oh, the Peanuts! It was true. I said it was recently at a game. I just didn't say what game. Yeah. I used the Peanut illustration. And it was true. I was making a mess on those things. Yeah, but yeah, it was great. Like we walked from our hotel to the game, and from the moment our hotel was a mile away. From the moment we walked from our hotel to the stadium, tailgating had started for 1 mile.
Yeah.
And then it was like Florida Gator were like half a mile. Then the last half a mile was Bulldog fans. And then as you got to the stadium, it was a mix of everyone. It was just like golf carts taking people, like for city blocks. You know, it's not, you go to pro games, just parking, park, you go to the game. Maybe there's some tailgating, but not much, you know. And there's a specific tailgate parking at, you know, like say like a SoFi, you know, Rams game. But like this Florida-Georgia game, it was just like they were just parking on grass. Like, and creating their own, you know, tailgate area. There were DJs and all that, you know, it was like... And then now you get closer to the stadium, now is all the sponsored stuff, you know, all the inflatables and all the, you know, like all the, so it was like, oh, I've never seen anything like, and I'm sure maybe people are listening and are like, oh yeah, I don't know that USC or UCLA have that same level. I've heard it's exciting, but when I've talked to guys, they're like, oh no, the way the South does football games is different than the West Coast and even the East Coast. Because I was like, oh, is it like this at USC? And then I would talk to people and be like, not exactly. The bands don't battle. There's not that long of a tailgate. I mean, you're also in LA, but still, you know. But you even go to Stanford or whatever. It's not that way either, you know, as it is in the South. So I'm just walking around like, I feel like I was in another country, you know. And then everybody's talking to you and stuff, and so I'm like, oh, why are you talking to me? I'd be walking around and be like, let's go Gators. I'm wearing the Gator thing, and I'm like, why are you talking to me?
But you would go again.
Yeah, I would do it again. It was fun. Yeah.
Just not here in California.
Yeah. Well, I would go to that type of experience again.
Yeah. So like a USC, UCLA game.
I don't think I'd have any interest in that. Yeah. You invite me, Haron, I'll go. And it better be good seats, but it's just games are long in general.
It's different for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, if I knew someone or you had you know, you're Polynesian, so you got a cousin for every zip code. So if you had a cousin that was playing or something, I'll go support. But for me, it's the Gators was like, this is where my wife went. She's excited. I see her happy. She's talking to everybody. She's high-fiving people. She's looking at Georgia fans going, boo. I'm like, she's having fun. You know, it's not my thing, but, you know, I'm happy she's happy. You know, so it's that kind of thing. We're opposites in that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, everybody, man, hope you enjoyed this episode to whatever regard that we shared today. I did have some I wanted to talk about, but maybe we'll do it the next episode. I came in. Something on the agenda, something on mine, but then, you know, I was interested by the conversation, so hopefully other people were as well. Don't forget, if you enjoy Beyond the Letter, you know, comment, share, like, subscribe, you know, continue to share with us. Hey, if there's ever any things you want us to share and discuss about, feel free, drop it in our DMs, comments, anything like, hey, interested in your guys' take on this or whatever, and feel free to share it. But hope you guys have a great week. And God bless you. Bye.
Peace.